Hey guys, this is Trent. Welcome back to GuitarAnimal.com. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about some gear. Talking about an old cable of mine. This is a Whirlwind Cobra cable from like 1975, and it's very heavy, weighs about 2 or 3 pounds. The reason I'm going to talk about it is from time to time I research different types of players. So I'll do an in-depth study of a player for about 3 months, learn about 6 of their songs, and I'll read up on them and techniques and just what they're using sound-wise and technique-wise, and just, you know, draw things out of it and learn from that. And I was reading recently about REO Speedwagon's original guitar player, Gary Richrath, from a Guitar Player article, I think back in 1982. And his roadie was talking about the fact that he would only use these old coiled cables when he was recording or live. And so I'm like, well, you know, I've got one of those, and I really wondered why he was doing that, so I wanted to do a comparison on that. So I went to my old Foot Locker and pulled this one out. And in the studio, teaching over the last week, I played the old cable and I played my new cable, and I was actually quite surprised. The old cable really fattened up the sound, knocked off some of the high end, and the overall sound of the guitar, the quality just really went up using this old cable from like 1975. So that's the only cable I'm going to be using from now on. And I wanted to share that with you today. I shared it with some of my students live in the studio, and even some of my Skype students could tell a difference over Skype. So there is a pretty big difference. So I want you to listen to it. I'm going to go back and forth here and play a little bit on the original cable I use, which is a Spectraflex. It's a good cable. It's about a $50 cable. And then I'm going to plug in this one. And I'll go back and forth a couple different times and see if you could tell a difference. I looked into it a little bit more, and this old cable from the 70s adds a lot of capacitance to the signal. So what that does, it's almost like turning down a tone control a little bit, but it's accomplishing that a little bit differently. It's because the power or the signal is going through several feet of cable while it's picking up the capacitance. It's kind of a unique sound that you get from that. So just kind of wanted to share that with you. So let's put on our ears and check it out. We're going to start off with the Spectraflex cable, which is the one I always use. It's a braided cable, really good cable. It's quiet, and let's listen to what it sounds like. Alright, now I'm going to swap out cables. All I'm doing is changing the cable, nothing else. Plug this in here. Again, the heavy Whirlwind cable, called a Cobra, playing the same things. To me, it sounds a little bit more compressed, definitely fattened up the mid-range, and took some of that brightness off. It made it sound less thin and more quality. I'll go back and forth one more time. All right, now we'll go back to the other cable. Now we'll go back to the old cable, 1975, and the Whirlwind. I also noticed on the old cable that I'm using here, the Whirlwind, that when I changed volume settings or tone settings, I really realized a lot more difference in the sound. This is full on the bridge pickup. Turn it down to 8. A lot more mid-range, more of a honky tone. Both pickups, out of phase. We'll go back to the Spectraflex. I need a roadie to do this part. The talent. All right, in the Spectraflex. That's both pickups on, out of phase. One more time with the Whirlwind. Both pickups out of phase. Just a lot more clarity, just a lot more quality of sound. Live here in the studio, it sounds like I'm actually switching pickups. It's such a big difference. So if you can find yourself an old heavy cable from the 70s, the coiled type, they sound great. Side note, the new coiled cables you can get, they're still using modern techniques on the cabling, so it's not going to give you the benefit of this old stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. We'll see you at Guitar Animal.